Hey everyone, Katie Nohost here with the First Coast Heroes team at Navy to Navy Homes, and I'm here with my good friend
Abbie Rose with Brightway Regency.
And today we're going to talk to you about homeowners insurance. So we're going to dispel some myths. We're going to get some answers to some really good big ticket questions in Florida, like what happens in a hurricane? Is flood insurance part of my homeowner's insurance policy? Who requires my homeowner's insurance? What if my house burned down? All that stuff. So tune in. What is homeowners insurance?
So homeowners insurance is coverage for your largest investment. It's a peace of mind. It covers the home which you raise your family. It covers your personal belongings and liability.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's pretty basic. I mean, it's important to have for your biggest investment in your life.
Yeah, I mean,
to insure it. I mean, things happen.
Exactly.
Okay, now my next question is it required? And if it is required, who requires it?
So if you have a mortgage on your property, it is going to be required by the mortgage company. They have a financial asset in the actual dwelling of your home. So that is who's going to require it.
That makes sense because they're lending you money, so they want to make sure that it's protected, I guess.
Exactly. Similar to that of like a car loan. If you get, if you purchase a car, you have to have physical damage coverage like comprehensive and collision. It's kind of the same as, ideology.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so what does homeowners insurance cover and what type of homeowners insurances are there?
So it really depends on what it is that you're purchasing. There's different types of policies. If you're buying an investment property, if it's your primary residence, do you have a condo? Are you buying a commercial property? It's really dependent on what the type of purchase you are making for your home.
Yeah. So even a condo would be different from...
A condo is a different type of policy,
really?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you maybe break down the coverage for us on a standard, let's say, single family detached policy?
Regular, sure. So on a policy, you're going to look on what would be your declarations page, and you'll see a bunch of verbiage. But the most important things you're going to see...
Declarations page.
Sorry. Declarations page is where you can break down your coverages. You can see, kind of almost like a summarized version of your policy, I guess, for layman's terms.
So it's the policy that you already have. The declaration is...
Correct.
Summarizing what you have.
Yep.
Okay.
And on a page like that, you're going to see something called, it'll be Dwelling A. That's going to be the coverage of your home. Each carrier does what's called a replacement cost estimator. And so what that is, they go, okay, here's Katie's house. Katie's house is worth $250,000, let's say. If Katie's house... And that $250,000 is what they deem if your house were, heaven forbid, to burn to the ground, what it would cost to remove the debris and rebuild your home. So that is specifically to the dwelling itself. There's a second line item, so letter B is referred to as other structures. That's coverage for things that are not directly attached to your home. So a fence, a shed, things of those, of that nature. Okay. The next line item would be personal property. That's all your stuff. And a lot of times people really underestimate that value. They're like, oh, we don't have that much stuff. But think about it, unfortunately, if the house were to burn down, you have toothbrushes, you have medicine, you have socks, you obviously have your couches. Everybody thinks about their couches, their TVs, right?
The piano, the heirloom.
Right, exactly. Yeah. All that good stuff. But I mean, your little things that you use every day, like you put your watch on. Yeah. You probably brushed your hair and brushed your teeth. Those little things, all those things add up. So
that is just going to Walmart and buying, basic home essentials. I don't like doing.
Right, because and then you see extra stuff that you probably shouldn't get. But all of those extras that you shouldn't be buying, all of that adds up. Okay. And especially when I talk to families who have kids, I'm like, your Band-Aids, your Neosporin, all of that stuff.
So you help kind of coach a family through that?
Absolutely, because people go, okay, just my couch and TV. Like, we'll go to the thrift store. It's super simple. I'm like, well, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
So, and it's my job to make sure that they understand, that it's everything that you own.
Yes. So. I think that's a good visualization. I mean, it's not a good visualization to consider your house burning down, but everything that would be in it
It's
at that
a reality.
time.
It can happen.
Right.
And that's why you have homeowners insurance. So back to the coverages. So after you have personal property, you have a section called loss of use. Loss of use is really, really valuable, and that's if, again, heaven forbid, the house were to burn down and you had to find temporary lodging. So that helps when you're temporarily displaced from your home, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be a fire or something. That's just obviously the example that I give, but so that's what that helps with. So that's
like
really
a hotel or something.
A hotel, right? Anything temporary to help with that intermittent transition.
That's really good, because if you don't have like just extra cash laying around to,
and not a lot of people do, right? The next line item you'll see on a declarations page would be liability. And that's, we do live in quite a litigious society, so that covers if someone comes to your home, trips and falls, and sues you, essentially. Yeah. So it's a very good coverage to have.
Happen in a personal residence, I guess so.
A lot.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like if you have a slippery floor or something.
A slippery floor. You could be having a housewarming party, and a friend of yours invites a guest, and they fall and chip their tooth or something, and they deem, it was Katie's fault, so what can we do? It's sad. But that's why you have that coverage, to make sure that you're taken care of, and again, your assets are protected. And then the final line item for coverage is called medical payments, and that's if say someone were to come over to your home that does not reside in your home, and they slip and fall and they hurt themselves and they have to go to an acute care, for example. It's some monetary assistance that you can use to help them pay for that bodily harm. Right.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
So that's kind of the basic coverages.
It's kind of all. I feel like you've thought of everything, these policy coverages.
And obviously, a lot of them are carrier specific. There's a lot more coverages you can add, but that's obviously basically specific to the needs of the client. And so those are things we discussed at that time.
Right, and you can kind of walk them through that.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Let me look at my next question here. Okay, is flood insurance a part of my homeowner's insurance? So
flood insurance is typically not a covered peril under a homeowner's policy. Flood insurance is normally a standalone policy or just a separate policy, and usually run through NFIP, which is the National Flood Insurance Program, also known as FEMA. Okay. We do have, with Brightway, we do have some carriers that will add, they have some private flood markets, which are pretty cool. We do have the opportunity to add them on to a policy, like an endorsement similar to that, if you had like an engagement ring that you needed to add as an itemized item on your homeowner's insurance, so we can add that on. So that's nice. Some carriers do offer that, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be separate, run through the NFIP
and a separate payment.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. And with that flood insurance, and it probably depends on the policy, but do you pay that annually or monthly?
Annually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does homeowners insurance cover damage caused by hurricanes? I mean, Florida is...
Right. We're like, we scream.
Hurricane Alley, right?
So the most important thing when you're looking at your policy, you're going to have, obviously, your deductibles. One of those deductibles is going to be labeled, depending on your carrier, as wind and hail or hurricane. If you have that deductible, you have the coverage. It's very unlikely, well, I shouldn't say very unlikely. There are some carriers that will exclude wind coverage, and they have their own parameters depending on maybe your location, to the coast, etc. But if you have that deductible, you will have that coverage. So it's just important that, that's a question for your agent, and obviously as an agent, it's my
to bring it up
job, due diligence to make sure you have that coverage, because it is Florida,
right? Well, you don't even think about it until it happens, and you lose a bunch of shingles, or whatever, the siding comes off your house, and it's like, oh wait,
right,
or flood, or anything like that. Okay. Are there any discounts available for homeowners insurance?
We do. We have discounts. There are, like, they do a senior discount. Some carriers, it depends, 55 years of age, 65 years of age. It depends on the company and carrier. If you live in a gated or guarded community, or even if you have a single entry, like, into your subdivision, some carriers will give discounts for that. They have what's called an accredited builder discount. So if you are having a brand new home built by D.R. Horton, let's use them for example, you can get an accredited builder discount. The actual how your home is built, if your home is a concrete block home, it's rated as masonry as opposed to just a vinyl siding with wood frame that would obviously be rated as a frame house. That can affect that can give you some discounts too. The shape of your roof can give you some discounts.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we have
gotta study up on my roof.
That's right. So that's pretty cool. And then probably one of the most popular discounts, and I think we're going to talk about that in a minute, is a wind mitigation discount.
That's going to be my next question. So talk to us a little bit about wind mitigation, because when we're helping people kind of go through the inspection process and that inspection period, those 10 days, there's kind of the basic home inspection. There's this thing called WDO, or wood destroying organism, and then there's all of a sudden like a 4-point inspection or wind mitigation inspection. Now it's just the customer's like, well, is it worth that extra $100? Like, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about that.
So wind mitigation inspection, it can give you anywhere from 1% discount up to 30% discount of your premium. So every carrier is very different, and the discount really takes into like how many credits you receive. So a lot of times we will get clients that are like, okay, look, I'm buying a brand new house, here's my wind mitigation inspection. Well, that wasn't necessary to get the inspection because you have a brand new home, you're going to receive those credits. So, because it's obviously built up to code.
And modern.
Right, exactly. And a lot of times as agents too, if I have a client that's got a home and I'm like, man, I know they can get some really good discounts if they get a wind mitigation inspection, we recommend that, because who doesn't want to save some money? So definitely you have to pay for the inspection, of course, but the discount is pays for itself. Exactly. And
so if I bought a house that was built in the 1970s, but there was a new roof within the last couple of years, it may be worth
investigating and see what you could do to save on that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
And then I kind of talked about briefly the 4-point inspections, but when is a 4-point inspection required?
So the 4-point inspections are really driven by the carrier. Normally, homes 30 years and over are going to require a 4-point inspection. At Brightway, since we write for so many carriers, we have carriers that will do their own 4 points, and then we have some that won't require them until 40 years of age. But regardless of the age of your home, your agent is going to need to know those basic updates. Even if you have a 2001 build, for example, I need to know the age of your water heater. Have you had electrical updates? How old is your roof? Those types of things. How old is your HVAC system? Okay. So while a 2001 would probably not require a 4-point inspection, we need to know the updates.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Going off script a little bit, you keep mentioning carriers, and I think it's a common misunderstanding of Brightway kind of brokerage for insurance, and then carriers. Maybe can you kind of talk about how your placement in the process and what your relationship is to carriers?
Carriers. So Brightway is, like you said, like a broker. We write for over 100 different carriers, meaning insurance companies have said, okay, you are an appointed agent. You can write insurance through our company. You have binding authority, meaning I can write a policy. I can issue a policy with company A, and at the end of the day, I'm going to be your agent. I'm going to be your primary point of contact, whatever you need. Right. I like to think so.
Because you're local.
Right, I'm local, I get it, you know.
And you got to know what the best options are, and you can kind of help find the best fit.
Right.
And it might be different time of year or a different type of house. So you're able to really... So instead of me having to call 100 different carriers, you kind of...
That's right. I like to shop. Yeah. So it's kind of like shopping for other people, and you can be helpful, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So I like that. And the other neat thing is my licensure enables me to write in all of Florida. So so we have clients, like I know you work a lot with Navy. Well, Navy, they
other bases
here. They have a ton, so a lot of times we're buying, selling, and moving to other parts of Florida. So that's really neat that it's a continual relationship.
Statewide. Okay. Okay, and if there was just one thing that you wish your customers would know or buyers would know about home insurance or about you or Brightway or anything, what would it be?
Be prepared. Okay. Know your agent. make sure that in the event of a loss, you have your policy documents together. You know where that file is. You know, if I'm your agent, have my cell phone number, because I give all my clients my cell phone. Text me if there's a problem. Take pictures if you know, okay, there's an impending hurricane. Take pictures, before. If you've got some damage, take pictures, afterwards. Really be informed and stay in communication.
So you're not just writing the policy and then, okay, goodbye, see you later. You're there.
Right, because you're my client, you're like part of the family, and I wouldn't want my family or my friends treated any differently. Yeah. The cool thing about Brightway, though, I will say, is we do have a service center, a corporate service center. So there are things, many times when people get a mortgage, the servicing of the mortgage changes. So there's something referred to as a mortgagee clause, which is where we send the invoices, the proof of insurance to. That changes sometimes. The benefit of having the service center is they can kind of help me with those small changes should I need, that assistance. So it's nice if for some reason I'm not available, and they're open 6 days a week. We have Spanish-speaking representatives. We have English-speaking, obviously.
English. Well, you speak Spanish too.
I do.
So that's a nice skill.
Yes, it's a little surprise.
I know.
So
I need to learn.
It's awesome. It's definitely opened up a lot of doors for me. It's nice. But yes, I like to be informed, if there's an issue going on, even if it's something small. A lot of times people are like, okay, don't worry about it. Well, I want to know. I want to make sure that you're taken care of, because this is your home.
Right, right. Well, and even just a plug here, and when Eric and I, we had our first home, and then we kind of moved to a different home because Addie takes up a lot of space. And so the first home became a rental property for us, and we had to call you about, okay, how does insurance work as we shift from primary residence to rental and then new primary residence.
Right.
And that was just so crucial to be able to just call her up and ask those questions.
Right. And I like that. I like that you guys can be like, Abbie, what's going on? Right.
Because then it's just like, I don't have to worry about it.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
peace of mind, I think.
Right, exactly, and that's the biggest thing is peace of mind.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, maybe you can tell us all how to reach you, because you're an amazing broker for homeowners insurance, and we love working with you. So maybe you can tell people how they can get in contact with you.
So the best method, if you just even have questions about even your current policy, they can call my office.
Oh, yeah.
So that's 904-345-5600. Just ask for Abbie. I am the only Abbie Rose that works at Brightway in general. We are all individually owned franchises, so it's really important that you ask for me
Abbie
specifically. But that's my direct office number, or you can email me. And
we'll put it at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, and we have a Facebook. Yeah, we have a Brightway Regency Facebook page. But I love email, and then once we make that connection, I'll give you my cell phone numbers, because a lot of people I think are so tech savvy nowadays.
You don't want to post it all over YouTube,
right? Not right now.
That's just us.
I'm not ready for that, right? But that's right. It is on my business card, so definitely. But yeah. So.
Okay. Well, great. It's been so fun talking to you about homeowners insurance. I know it's a riveting conversation, but actually is quite interesting. And it's one of those things where you don't really give it the attention it needs until you have to, and then when it does happen, you want to have everything in a row. And so it's just nice to know that you've smoothed out the process in such a way that makes it so easy, and that when the occasion does happen and we need it, it's all.
And that's what we tell clients, because I think especially, I'm sure you guys get it too from new home buyers, especially military, that are coming in, they're not here, they're like, oh my God, I gotta find the right house, I have to get the mortgage, I have to do this. Yeah. So I always tell them, listen, let's make this, you let me worry about all of this, here's what I need from you, we'll discuss it, and then we'll make a smooth transition. I try to make insurance as painless as possible.
And you do. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Again, please reach out to Abbie if you have any homeowners insurance needs or questions.
Thank you.